the big question is this: how do young men like us, who didn't listen to society, who are on our own, how do we grow and improve ourselves so that we can live a better tomorrow? That is a question, and this show will give you the answers. My name is James Radzinski, and welcome to the Ascend Momentum Show. Welcome back, everyone. So, yesterday was an amazing day, and I'm going to be honest, today was not that great of a day. So, what happened, I did my normal stuff, but today I'm enrolled in this class in school for my senior year, which starts next week in literally 6 days, next Tuesday, and today's Wednesday. And I'm enrolled in this class, which is basically the leadership class where the seniors are leaders. It's really only for seniors, and the leaders select few seniors become leaders. So our grade probably has 800 or 900 kids in it, and maybe 200 or 300 people are leaders, and I was chosen to be a leader, and so I accepted. That was last winter, and it's August right now, so that was December. And when I originally got the email to be invited, I initially rejected. I didn't send them a message saying I say no. I just told my parents, and I said I'm not doing this. And then they told me don't reject it right away. And so I was like, okay. And then I let it sit. And then I realized that the reason why I'm rejecting this was because I was uncomfortable and I was scared. And so I ended up accepting it. And so that was January, and I was into it. And then I started getting really deep into self-improvement and started getting really into business. And over the beginning of September, this thought started in my mind. A seed was planted in my mind saying that, or not September, the beginning of the summer. That's what I meant to say. A seed was planted in my mind saying that I need to get out of school as soon as possible. So throughout summer, that seed grew and grew and grew until eventually that thought in my mind was so strong, I took action on it. And over the past couple of days, on Monday, I went in and deleted all my stuff from my schedule, but my schedule was not good enough. I still had leadership and calculus, which were not required classes. So I was going to get out maybe 2 or 3 hours later than I should have, or than the minimum. So today was a thing that we had to go to as leaders, where we had to give tours to the freshmen, the incoming freshmen, give them tours of their new classes when they pick up their schedules. So we basically just had to go for 2 hours and give them tours. So I did that. It was alright, and I was not uncomfortable at all. I was completely calm. It was just not a waste of time, but I could have used the time on business. And I didn't really grow that much from the experience. I mean, I grew, and it was a good experience, and I'm grateful, but the reality is I would have had a much more benefit going to the park shirtless and barefoot instead with my friend. But other than that, my plan was to go to that thing and then talk to my leadership teacher about dropping out of the class. And then after that, I was going to talk to my counselor about actually taking the step to dropping me out of, unenrolling me out of that class. And also the, and then I was going to have my counselor take all of the, sorry guys, I'm not in, this episode is not going really good. I gotta focus. Okay, so I had my counselor. I was planning on going to the counselor to drop all of my classes except for my required classes. But neither of those things happened. The leadership teacher was in a meeting, so I couldn't talk, and she wanted to reschedule to this Sunday night for the training session for Husky Kickoff Day, which is just the first day of school for freshmen, and no other grade levels go to school that day. Like, freshmen get a first day of school, and then everyone else starts the next day. It's just for the freshmen to get their classes and all that. But she wanted to do it then, and as you guys know, I go to bed at 6:30 p.m. and I don't like staying up late for bad reasons. And so with the combination of me wanting to drop out of that class and the training session was at like 7 p.m. at night, I do not want to go to it. So I was like bummed after I received that text because I was at the school already waiting to receive that text from her. And so she said she was in a meeting. So then I was like, okay, I'll figure this out. And then I instantly felt like demotivated, felt really sad, felt like my heart and mind were disconnected again. And then, so I decided to just try and go to my counselor's office to set up my schedule to where all they had to do was I was gonna actually get rid of my calculus class, which is not required, and then organize my schedule so that all I would have to do is drop out of leadership and then the schedule would be perfect. But then none of the counselors were there, so I couldn't do that either. So I just had to go home, eat, and then I attempted to distract myself by going on ClickFunnels and starting to build the flower funnel for the flower shop, the business that my first client. So I was like, okay, I might as well do something productive today. So I started to build that, but I was just not getting in the zone. My heart and mind were disconnected, and I wasn't doing very well. So I went upstairs and ate food, or like I ate a pineapple. To try and distract myself, I practiced balancing on this medicine ball that I bought. All attempts of distraction were unsuccessful. So then I just told my mom I can't wait until Sunday or something. I told my mom something and I was like, should I just email? And then she was like, sure. So I emailed and I wrote out my mom said it was a very well written email. So I just sent that maybe 10 minutes before I got on this podcast. So I am not planning on checking the reply until tomorrow because I don't want to get distracted. And I want to study because I haven't studied in a long time. I haven't studied since like yesterday morning. And I've been skipping expert secrets for the past 3 days, which is not good. And I want to study at least transurfing today. So that happened. And I'm not going to lie, right now I still kind of feel like my heart and mind were disconnected. But then the second I sent the email and took action, I was back to neutral, and it was just up to my interpretation. It was just up to my interpretation to decide how I'm feeling. And honestly, my subconscious interpretation was, and probably conscious as well, was to stay feeling like this when I could have chosen to be happy and get on a positive lifeline. So I'm going to change that right now. Okay, let's go. All right, future's looking good. I have a client. Right now I'm still like on the gray. My mood is gray. Yesterday I was bright yellow. I was super happy. And now it's gray. But I'm gonna do a little exercise live right now that I just thought of doing. Let's go, dude. Future's looking great. I have my first client. So that means that I get to build her a funnel and make it successful and make her a lot of money. And then I'll be able to charge a lot of money in the future for my expertise. This is huge. I'm already on the first step. My life is great. My future's looking bright. I'm already on the first step to becoming to making my first $1,000. Like my goal is $5,000 by September 25th. And right now I'm at 0 and it's August 9th. But I just have to build that funnel and I feel as though I can do it and get it up live on her computer before school even starts. So that's looking good. And then I'll have so much time during school as well because once I get the scheduling thing fixed and once I get all the things worked through, I am going to have only 3 periods of the day instead of 8. So I will have a first period, which will be English, a second period, which will be the other English class, and a third period, which will be gym. And then fourth period will be lunch, and then the rest is dismissal. So I'll just leave after gym. And this will be huge because I'll be able to get out at maybe 10 o'clock after third period. And honestly, since it's gym class, gym would be 1/3 of my day. So the day would not even be that bad. I just have to do 2 English classes and then gym. And those English classes are not going to be that hard because I'm going to tell my counselor to give me the easiest English classes possible. So I won't have homework. And if I do, I'll just do it in English class, the next English class, or I'll do it in that current one. And yeah, so future's actually looking really good. Things are just looking good. I just was nervous this morning because change was happening and I misinterpreted it. Even though it was positive, it was actually being beneficial towards me. The world is making changes to push me towards my lifeline, and I interpreted the change as bad, when in reality it was actually good. And I just didn't see how it was good, but it was. And I just gotta get better at interpreting things as positive because really the world is taking care of me and everything that happens is to my benefit. So I felt a lot better. And I'm not gonna lie, I I've been going to bed late, like an hour late, the past 2 days, and it's unacceptable. I need to be on top of my health. Over the past 2 days, I've been saying like, oh, this is for a good reason. Yeah, it was for a good reason, but I could have done a better job planning and keeping my health as priority. So today, I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to be going to bed at my normal time. And I actually reworked my nighttime routine and my morning routine. So I have the same morning routine, but for context, I bought a medicine ball. It's just like this small soccer ball size ball, which is 10 pounds. Medicine ball, you might have seen it at the gym. People like to throw it on the ground. I've seen big ones, small ones, but the one I got is about the same size as a size 5 soccer ball, maybe slightly bigger. So if you know how big a soccer ball is, like a normal professional size soccer ball, then it's just slightly bigger. And I bought it, it's 10 pounds. Soccer ball is not 10 pounds. So you can't really kick it like a soccer ball. It's like a weight, essentially, but it's a ball. And I bought that because one of the things that I'm going to be doing soon actually is going to Hawaii and surfing and becoming a surfer. My plan is to make some money, make $5,000 before September 25th, and then go to Funnel Hacking Live, which is on September 27th, with my friend Franklin, and then stay there for like 3 or 4 days, however long the event is, and decide if we want to stay at Florida or go back home, or we'll decide, whatever. And Funnel Hacking Live will be huge because I'll be able to learn a lot about entrepreneurship, marketing. Pretty much has the possibility to change my life. So I'll do that, and then I'll come home probably and finish out the school year and make enough money, like make a bunch of money, like just focus 100% on business and go to Hawaii or some place that's warm and has good surfing waves for surfing. And this will be around December, like right after I finish my first semester. It'll be then. And it will allow me to, well, once I do that, I'm just gonna move out on my own to Hawaii or wherever else and live there for however long I choose. Still work on business, but really just focus on surfing. And my plan is to, second I land, I'm gonna go bald. I'm gonna shave off all of my hair because right now I have the surfer. Let me look up surfer dude hair. Yeah, right now I basically have the surfer dude hair, but it's not really that long. It's just like decently long. It's not like past my collarbone. It's not past my chin either. It's like, I don't know, it doesn't matter, but I have like surfer dude hair, kind of. And right now I don't know how to surf, and my balance is terrible. And so that's why I bought the medicine ball, because I'm practicing balancing on it, like standing on it and doing squats on it, doing many different exercises to practice my balance. I'm doing that 10 minutes every day, right after my meditation in the morning. I just add it right after my meditation, my breath work, at 10 minutes every day, and that will build up my balance by the time I'm ready to start learning how to surf. I'll be at an advantage than I would have been otherwise. But also, but then once I get to Hawaii or wherever I go, once I get there for the first time, I will be terrible at surfing because I've never done it before. That's just how everyone is with every skill. And so I will shave my head bald. And that is because I want the hair growth to be incongruent with my surfing growth. So I want my hair to grow as I become a better surfer. And then by the time I'm a very good surfer, my hair will be long again, and it will be the surfer dude hair again. And so that's my plan. Go to Hawaii, go bald, learn how to surf. Yeah, and so I'm really excited for the future. And I know that the world is going to take care of it for me. I just have to keep moving forward. And just things like this, I just gotta, things like what happened today, how I interpreted change as bad and instantly felt sad or like disconnected, felt down. I gotta interpret change as good because that's the world pushing me forward, the world helping me along my way. Yeah, so I really gotta get in on reading Transurfing every day because I have been reading it pretty much every day, but yesterday I only read it for like 10 minutes, and today I haven't even read it yet. So I'm gonna read it right before bed. Hopefully get a 30 minutes at least in, and I gotta keep reading Transurfing because I'm on the foundation part, so I'm trying to really get it in, really trying to get all that stuff in, and I'm really excited to get to intention, which we'll talk about inner intention and outer intention. And I understand, I like know of the concepts, but I don't really have a deep understanding of it. I don't really have a deep understanding of any of this stuff in Transurfing, but studying it is definitely helping me. And the only way to do it is by doing it every day. And right now I'm kind of falling off, so I gotta catch myself back. I really gotta set my routine because a lot of things are popping up that I'm not preparing for, not planning well for. For example, yesterday we spent the whole day at the mall talking to girls, and that I didn't prepare for that to take that long, but I should have done everything beforehand so I didn't have to do anything after. Just stuff like that. Okay, so as I'm writing or as I'm talking on these podcasts, I want you guys to take note of my tone. So today my tone is a lot less excited, a lot less joyful as yesterday. And yesterday was probably a lot more than the day before. And that's just, I'm not sure if that is what it's supposed to be. I'm not sure if I should be happy all the time, or or if it's normal in transurfing terms to have high days and low days. I'm not sure, but for now I'm just interpreting it as normal, and I just want you guys to know that I my my path is really a roller coaster, and your guys' path, your journey is going to be a roller coaster as well. I've noticed that over this past summer, I started on the lowest part of the track. Let me get some water. I have the hiccups. I notice. Okay, so I'm gonna write down life is a roller coaster. So in the beginning of summer, I started at the bottom of the track on the roller coaster, just at the ground level. And I had a little ups, and then I went back down. Every once in a while, I'd go up a little bit and then go right back down. Just slight bumps. And those bumps represent joy, like high points, good moments. So the more bumps, the better, obviously. And you would actually want your baseline to be higher. So in the beginning of this summer, and even like before, but I'm gonna use the beginning of this summer as a time frame, and this year is 2023. And beginning of this summer is my baseline was 0. We're just gonna reset the baseline to 0, even though I was like better than 4 months before. It's that let's just start with 0 at the beginning of summer for simplistic sake. So I would ride on the track flat, just like it was a train, and then every once in a while there would be a bump of like happiness or good moment, and then it would go down back to my baseline. And the baseline of 0 doesn't necessarily mean bad, like I'm not happy. It just means like neutral. That's where I'm neutral. I'm not happy or sad. I was just pushing them along. And then over the couple of weeks, as I was getting to know my friend Franklin, who I met him a long time ago, like maybe in middle school, but we never really talked, and we just played like video games every once in a while together a long time ago. We weren't like really friends. And then once I saw him at the gym this one time, and we both like started talking, and then we both realized that each of us were on self-improvement, which was an awesome experience to have, because just over the past couple of weeks or months, we were both thinking like there's no one else at this school that is like me. And then it turns out that there was, and we just hadn't like met each other yet, like officially knew that each other were on this path. And so that was when I like met my friend. That was in the beginning of summer, so my baseline was 0. And then slowly, as more bumps, I would hit a bump, and then I would go back down. But this time I wouldn't go all the way back down to the baseline. My new baseline would be a little bit higher. And then I would just keep going up. Like I would just stay at the baseline and then another bump. And then over time, these bumps would get closer and closer to where they were happening maybe once every couple weeks to once a week to once every couple days. And if you guys like listen back on the podcast, you could probably tell that yesterday was my bump, and I went back down to the baseline, but just a little bit above the baseline right now. And so my baseline now is higher than it was last week. And I'm just now realizing that I am on a roller coaster, or I am on a train ride. I'm going to say life is an unusual train ride. Because that's more indicative of life than a roller coaster, because a roller coaster goes all the way up, all the way down, flips, like all that stuff. Yeah, life is like that, but actually, not life. I'm gonna say self-improvement is an unusual roller coaster. Yeah, so as long as you keep walking forward, keep going at it, keep pushing, your baseline will just get higher and higher every day. And today I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was just on my phone looking for something to distract myself with. I was on the podcast, like reading episode descriptions on a podcast to try and distract myself, and then I saw this one guy who's like reverse aging, so I that caught my eye, so I just started looking at his stuff, and then I caught myself maybe I knew that I was not doing I knew that I shouldn't be doing that like the whole time, but then eventually I was like, dude, what am I doing? After like 10 minutes or 20 minutes of doing that, and then I went back upstairs, and then that's where the beginning of the episode I told you, I told my mom I can't wait any longer. So then I made an email, sent it to my teachers and counselors, and then now I'm good. Okay, so this, so right now I'm just on the decline of the bump. So you go up, yesterday was my up, and then this morning was my down. And now I'm at my new baseline after sending the email. And so now soon my next up will happen. Maybe maybe the park tomorrow. My friend and I are going to the park tomorrow because we skipped today because I had to go to do tours, give tours to the freshmen. Not a valid reason to skip, but it's okay. Maybe it's because I didn't go to the park today. Maybe the park is just so important now that if I don't go, then I'm just not as good or as happy or whatever during the day. Maybe it's also because for the past 2 days I've been going to bed at like 7:30 instead of 6:30, staying up late. But I don't know, it'll all work out. I'm going to bed at 6:30 today. And also, I'm going to the park tomorrow, so I'm back on routine tomorrow. I was gonna go on this like live training that I signed up for from Russell Brunson, like a funnel builder training. But I'm not going to do that because I think I'd have more value studying his book, Expert Secrets, than going on his training. Simply because when you see something, you forget it, but no, I said that wrong. When you hear something, you forget it, which is like watching the training video, like listening to him talk. And then when you see something, you remember it, which is like reading. And when you do something, you understand it, which is like building a funnel for a client, my first client. So tomorrow I'll be studying Expert Secrets and building that funnel. But man, I'm back on routine tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, and then Friday we're going back to the mall, I think. We're going back to the mall to ask for some more girls' numbers. Expand our comfort zone one more time, because we already did the hard part. So not tomorrow, on Friday, I meant Friday we're going to do that. And so we're just going to do that, and then we already did the hard part. The first day was like 100% fear, and then on Friday when we go, it'll be like maybe 50 to 30%. I don't really know because my framework of 100% fear the first time and then 50% fear the second time was based off of going to one customer or like one business every day in person, which was like 1 minute every day. But yesterday we went to maybe 10 girls in like 3 hours. So that is like we talked to 10 girls in like 3 hours. So I don't know how that will work because we did a lot more, but it was a lot more dense. So who knows? Maybe we'll be at 0% discomfort on Friday, or we'll be at 50%. Who knows? We'll see. Right now, I feel like I could do it. So I feel like I'm at less than 50% comfort for that particular task, like of asking for girls' numbers. So yeah, that is something. Let me look up how to expand my comfort zone because asking for girls' numbers is going to get really easy really quick, just like going to local businesses is. And by the way, I said I was going to go to one local business every single day for the rest of like summer. Yeah, I stopped. Yesterday was the last day because I now have to focus 100% of my time on building that funnel for that one business that my first acceptance, my first client. So I don't want to go to new businesses. One, because it's not uncomfortable anymore. I can do it easily. So it's not worth my time just for the discomfort. But two, I don't want to put on more work and divide my attention over multiple businesses. I want to focus 100% on one business and get it extremely successful. All right, so I'm going to look up how to expand my comfort zone. Oh, and that's one thing. You guys need to, all right, so I made a commitment to you guys like 5 days ago to go to one business every single day, and I broke it today. Well, technically I haven't broken it yet because I could still go after this episode, but I'm not going to go. And so that's one thing. You guys should know that it's okay to break your commitment as long as something comes up. Like, for example, the thing that came up for me was that it's not worth it to do it anymore. I get way more benefit not doing it. So that's the only reason why you guys could go against your commitment, because if you would have more benefit not doing it. For me, it would just be adding on more unnecessary work because I know that I could get more people to accept me. And I don't want to work on multiple businesses at once. I want to just focus on one. And it's not uncomfortable anymore, so I'm not getting benefit on that aspect. But when it's not okay to go against your commitment is when you're just being a wuss and you think that you don't want to do it that day. And trust me, every single day I didn't want to do it, and I had moments where I didn't want to do it, whether I told you guys or not. I think there were days where I did tell you, and I always just passed through it. Like, that's the difference between successful people and not successful people, is the successful people just do it. They just pass through that mental emotion and figure out how to make it work. And not successful people just succumb to the thought. All right, so I'm looking at this. I just looked up how to expand your comfort zone. This is an interesting picture that I just saw. So it's a circle with a circle around it, but it's slightly to the side, so it's kind of like, so it's like a circle and a circle and a circle, but they're all not in the center. The circle originates on the left side and then it just expands to the rightwards. You can probably see that picture too. Same picture that I'm seeing if you look up on Google, how to expand my comfort zone. And this picture is, the first circle is comfort zone, feel safe and in control. And then the second zone is fear zone, affected by others' opinion, find excuses and lack self-confidence. And then the third zone is the learning zone, deal with challenges and problems, acquire new skills, extend the comfort zone. So it looks like the learning zone is where you actually start to extend the comfort zone. And the fourth circle, the fourth zone is called the growth zone. And it's find purpose, live dreams, set new goals, realize aspirations. Now, if I were to just look at that picture 2 days ago, maybe even before I went to the mall yesterday, I would not have understand this picture at all. But since I took action, and if you guys haven't listened to episode 20, last episode, definitely listen to it. That is the best episode I've ever made. And the second best is episode 14. But this picture is so important because the growth zone, you have to go through the fear zone and the learning zone in order to make it to the growth zone. So the fear zone, I'm going to talk about this in the context of approaching a girl, cold approaching a girl and asking for a number. So the comfort zone is before you come up with the idea to cold approach. And then the second the idea comes up to your head to cold approach, you enter the fear zone, where you're affected by the other's opinions. You've tried to find excuses. Like, a lot of the excuses that popped up yesterday at the mall was she's with her mom. She's got friends around her. There's like a lot of different excuses. And sometimes the excuses just didn't even make sense. Like, I am not gonna do this one, even though it was just us being a wuss. And so that's finding excuses. And then lack self-confidence. I'm not sure if I necessarily lacked this self-confidence. Actually, no, I definitely did, because I walked up to the first girl trembling in my, like, shaking in my voice. So I definitely lacked self-confidence. And then once you enter the learning zone, that is when you actually start speaking with the girl. Literally the second you start speaking with the girl is when you enter the learning zone. Or maybe even after. I don't know how this really relates to it, or this particular example, where you deal with challenges and problems, acquire new skills. Yeah, so the acquire new skills, you would actually, yeah, that's when you talk to the girl. You actually take action. You acquire new skills and then also extend the comfort zone. That is where, yeah, talking to the girl is that. And then, because I'm not sure if I'm really interpreting this picture 100% accurately, I didn't read the article that goes along with it. I just looked it up just now. But the learning zone also has extend the comfort zone, so that extends. And what I was talking about yesterday, about once you take action, you release your excess potential, and it turns into pure intention, and pure intention is all you need to achieve your goals. And so the growth zone is find purpose, live dreams. The way you do that, you find purpose, and then you set new goals. And yeah, set new goals, realize aspirations are the other two things. So you find your purpose, and then you set the goals, and then you realize your aspirations, and then you live the dreams. So that is literally the growth zone. And you have to go through the fear zone, the learning zone, until you get to the growth zone. And honestly, the fear zone is the hardest part. It's directly outside of your comfort zone. And so the second it's the hardest part to walk up to a girl. It's easy to walk up to a girl, but it's the hardest part to actually begin the conversation. But the second you start talking to her, you're already in. So you might as well keep talking. And then the second you start talking to her, if you just walk away, literally you say one word and then walk away, that's still expanding your comfort zone. And then the next time, if you like say 2 words and then walk away. Like that is another expanding your comfort zone. And then eventually you'll be able to start a whole conversation. And that's like this literally walking up to a girl and what's it called? Walking up to a girl and actually starting a conversation is probably the hardest thing to do if you have built up a lot of excess potential. And if you're like most people, you have built up a lot of excess potential. And that excess potential gets built up through many ways, like putting girls on pedestals, like making them, giving them more value than they actually are, just all that stuff. And that, when it's, just think about it like this, when you're walking up to a girl and your like brain is exploding, you start dying, like you're literally, you feel like you're about, like, you know that feeling if you start walking up to a girl and then you just start going, like your brain starts, just goes numb or something like that. I don't know how to describe it, but that is because all that excess potential is affecting you. And then the second you take action and start a conversation, you just dissipate all of the excess potential. And by the way, excess potential decreases your influence on the world. So if you have a lot of excess potential, you're not going to have that much influence on the world, which means you're not going to be able to achieve your goals. And when you take action and start a conversation, you, one, dissipate the excess potential, which allows you to have more influence in the world, like you actually should, so you can achieve your goals. But two, it actually converts the excess potential into pure intention. And pure intention happens when excess potential gets converted through action. So when you take action, excess potential converts into pure intention. And pure intention is the only thing that is needed to achieve your goals. Literally just pure intention. And then you can live in Hawaii and surf all day. So that's huge. Taking action. It's like a double effect. Oh wow. Okay, this is the next picture that I just looked at. Expanding your comfort zone. The comfort zone you are experiencing right now is familiar and safe. However, everything you have ever wanted lies outside its boundaries. To get to your goal, you will need to overcome problems and uncertainty. It's those who are willing to risk it all that end up victorious. Man, that is... I actually understand that sentence. If you were to read that sentence to me yesterday before I went to the mall or a month ago, I would not have understood it as well as I do now. I would have like said, "Oh yeah, you have to go through your comfort zone to achieve your goals," but I wouldn't have actually interpreted it how I did right now. And this interpretation is actually very interesting. And I have two different reasonings behind this. So in the first sentence, the comfort zone you are experiencing right now is familiar and safe. Yeah. Let's just move on to the second sentence. However, everything you have ever wanted lies outside its boundaries. Yeah, so there's a reason why you're not living in Hawaii right now, because it's outside of your comfort zone. There's a reason why, and you're actually holding yourself back because you choose comfort, the knowledge of being in your current area right now, current part of your life, over the discomfort of Hawaii, which Hawaii is comfortable, but you're just uncomfortable about moving towards that, which doesn't make any sense, but that's how everyone is. And the difference, and then the last sentence, I'm going to skip the third sentence for now. And that's the last sentence. It's those who are willing to risk it all that end up victorious. And that's really, it's those who are willing to risk literally nothing. Like right now, I have no risk, but it seems like a lot of risk. Like if you were to ask me 1 year ago to start, like to go to Hawaii or do all this stuff, like start a business, do all this stuff that I'm doing right now, I'd have been like, I would have said no, and I would come up with an excuse. But in reality, the reason why I did it was because I was too scared to risk my current position. But my current position was literally a high school student living in my home, which is my parents' house. They own it. So I literally have nothing to lose. I have no risk. But my brain tells me I have so much risk. So that is, and it's me, I'm willing to risk it all. That ends up victorious. I'm willing to risk it all, which is nothing, because even if I fail, my parents are still gonna take care of me. But I won't fail because I am gonna live on my own soon. And I'm gonna go to Hawaii. And I'm not gonna be dependent on my parents for long. So that's the whole thing. And by the way, I'm very grateful for my parents taking care of me, and I'm in a very good situation. But I'm saying not everyone will. If everyone was in the same situation, it would still have a similar success and not success rate, because I'm only becoming successful because I'm willing to risk it all. Which in reality, it is nothing that I'm risking, but in my mind, it is everything that I'm risking, because my mind plays, and this is just everyone, the human mind plays so many tricks on you and lies, tells yourself so many lies that try and keep you in your comfort zone. Now, in the third sentence, to get to your goal, you will need to overcome problems and uncertainty. I mean, yeah, that's just your discomfort zone. And then when you take action, that one increases your comfort zone, but also dissipates the excess potential. Yeah, there's a whole thing. I'm not really good at explaining this right now, which means that I don't understand it that well, so I have to go back and study more. But I kind of understand it in my mind. I'm just not doing a good job telling you, and that just shows that I also don't understand it as good as I should. Let me read this. Yeah, this is actionable steps. It's the same picture, and it says, set your goal and make a public commitment. Reframe your problem in a positive and helpful way. Give yourself an inspiring motivational pep talk. Ask solution-focused questions. Move yourself with urgency. Take small, gradual steps. Okay, so I just read a bunch of actionable ideas. Set your goal and make a public commitment is the first one. I agree. I didn't actually do that until I started making a podcast, and it actually helps a lot. I made a public commitment to post every single day for a year, and I'm already on episode 21. And the public commitment has definitely helped me get certain days where I didn't want to upload. Like today was one of the days where I didn't want to upload. I was actually like 2 hours ago, I was actually thinking like, I'm not uploading today. I'm too sad. Like my inner tension is, I'm feeling a lot of tension in my heart. But I just pushed through it and did it anyways, and now it's worth it. And I did it because I made a public commitment. Also because I have discipline. It's one to make a public commitment, but you also have to make a discipline. Public commitment is not a guarantee, but it is definitely helpful because that's an extra external motivation, external like keeping you on track. I don't know the word. Reframe your problem in a positive and a helpful way. I don't really understand what that means, so I can't really speak on that. The next one is give yourself an inspiring motivational pep talk. Yeah, those, you can do that, but I find that doesn't really work. You just have to do it. It's just a waste of time. And I actually realized that yesterday with uh, my friend. He was, I mean, I was doing it too, but there's a lot of moments where he was not taking action when he should have. And I was just giving him a lot of inspirational pep talks, but he still wasn't taking action. And the only reason why he did end up taking action was because he just did it. Um, yeah. So once you realize that motivation does not really matter, and the only way to actually get something done is by doing it, that's when you start to become successful. All right, so the next one is ask solution focused questions. Yeah, I actually think I know what that means, and I learned that the other day, literally maybe 2 weeks ago, and it's the difference between a rich person and a not rich person is the poor person says, I can't afford this, and then the rich person says, how can I afford this? That's a solution focused question. And the poor person has the limited belief that they can't afford it, and so they just tell themselves they can't afford it, and the world gives them what they want. But the rich person knows that they can't afford it, but they're just trying to figure out how. And so the world gives them what they want, and they figure out how. And then move yourself with urgency. Yeah, I agree. I have some urgency because my friend bought 2 tickets to Funnel Hacking Live like a couple days ago. So, and we don't have any money for plane tickets. So we have to have some urgency to buy the plane tickets, or else my friend will be out $2,000. But we'll get there. We'll do it. And then the last one is take small gradual steps. Yeah, I agree. But don't limit yourself if you couldn't take bigger steps. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. There's a whole thing with that of being blown out or burned out. I don't know. I haven't gotten burned out yet, so I don't know. All right, so yeah, I'm actually gonna look into. Oh, this is Dale Carnegie. He wrote How to Win Friends and yeah, okay. I'm gonna look into expanding my comfort zone because I know how much this is helping me in life and in business. Going to the mall and getting a girl's number expanded my comfort zone so much that literally like an hour later I was able to go to get my first client because I was so confident and my comfort zone was expanded to actually accept. I have a theory. Before I got the girl's number, getting my first client was outside of my comfort zone. And then once I got the girl's number and took action that was needed to get it, um, that instantly moved towards my inside of my comfort zone. Plus, other things moved inside of my comfort zone. Like, okay, I just came up with a whole theory. So I'm kind of putting it together. I'm pretty sure other people are already talking about this, but I'm putting together what we just read. So everything you have is in the first circle, and that's your comfort zone. I'm gonna actually write down in today's lessons comfort. Okay, comfort zone framework. Okay, so now okay, that's a comfort zone framework. I just thought of it. So everything you have is in your comfort zone. And then literally everything you don't have or are trying to get, but you have not had success, is outside of your comfort zone. So let's say you're trying to get a new phone. And you don't have it yet. That's outside of your comfort zone until you get the new phone. And so for me, what I just realized is that over past week, having my first client was outside of my comfort zone. And so the way that I actually get it is by expanding my comfort zone to be able to get my first client. I'm going to write down first client, but then outside of my first client is girls. And so I had to stop the podcast. But what I was saying is the girls' comfort zone is okay. So no, comfort zone. My comfort zone framework. So getting my first client was outside my comfort zone, and the way I needed to get my first client was to expand my comfort zone, and the means to do that was cold calling, emailing, but then those got dull and it wasn't expanding my comfort zone. So then I went in person. That expanded my comfort zone. So it kept on pushing my comfort zone out and out and out. And I was just nearly there. And then getting a girl's number was even further out of my comfort zone than getting my first client. So then once I got my first girl's number, or my first number from a girl, that expanded my comfort zone to where my comfort zone now engulfed my first client. So then I was actually capable of getting my first client. And then it is now a girl's number is just outside of my comfort zone. So then the next time I get another girl's number, it will get even closer into my comfort zone until after maybe 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, I don't know how many numbers I have to get, until getting a number will be in my comfort zone. And then that means we can expand that even further to where the next thing just outside my comfort zone is making my first sale. So actually making money. So that's outside my comfort zone right now because I haven't actually achieved it yet, or else I would have gotten it. Or it would have been, if it was in my comfort zone, I would have achieved it already. So then the way to get it is by doing something that's even further out of my comfort zone from the first sale, which could be, that's why I was looking up how to expand your comfort zone. They didn't give me any, I haven't looked into like practices yet. Like one practice would be going to talk to girls, but I was thinking about going to the beach with my friend, shirtless and barefoot at the beach of the lake, right at Lake Michigan, and talking to hot girls in bikinis. That would be the next step, probably, because that would be even more nerve-wracking. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Yeah, so I actually just kind of, over the past couple of days, I've become obsessed with the comfort zone, expanding my comfort zone, because that new framework theory that I just discovered and actually put into words, which I'm sure other people have talked about, but I'm going to talk about it because I think I just discovered it, but I'm sure other people have already talked about it. And this is how you become a millionaire, also by expanding your comfort zone. To wrap things up, don't forget to download your favorite episodes and subscribe to the Ascend Momentum Show. But before you guys leave, make sure to remember the Eagles.